I've been in Japan over 11 years, and in those 11 years, I've been able to immerse myself in Japan, not only the culture, but also find my own life, find the things that I find interesting about Japan, study Japanese, study Zen, visit shrines, visit temples, visit the countryside, live in the city. I've been able to do so many things in 11 years to where now I'm at the point where I want to share that with other people. In the 11 years that I've been here, I found that I'm specifically drawn to Zen, not just as a spiritual medium, but because I see how the culture here, how the architecture, I see how their philosophy, their wisdom, the lifestyle, how people address each other and respect each other is all still connected to their history with Zen. Zen started from India, went to China, and came over to Japan, and it's changed in a lot of different ways. And most people would still relate that mostly with Buddhism. While Japan has Buddhism and Shintoism, I found that being here as a foreigner, being able to engage in that does not mean that it's specifically a religious thing. It's something that should be just a lifestyle for everyone. And that's why I make these videos. I want to be able to share that with people at the modern day, for them to understand that Zen is a way of being in the moment, of living your life, not just a religious belief. I always like to share this as a fun example with people. In Japan, we have soda vending machines scattered everywhere. And it's kind of unique to be able to see something that exists only here in Japan, but it's a good example of how Zen is part of the culture here. And let me break that down for you, because the vending machines is a convenience that people need and want. And it's able to exist here in Japan mostly because people don't vandalize it, but because it's in harmony with people's lifestyles. Japan is a very walking culture, and bringing the convenience of having those drinks to people wherever they're at, wherever they're going in life, is something that people need. And that's been able to be supplied to them, and it lives in harmony. You can find these vending machines in the most remote places. It's actually really, really fascinating. And that's a great example of how Zen is just here in the culture, just here in their infrastructure. So now I'm starting to make these videos so that I can, one, showcase the shrines in these power spots, as I call them, where there's a good harmony of nature and the architecture of Japanese Shintoism. I want to be able to showcase that to people who might not be able to visit these spots. I want to share how they seamlessly blend within their environment and how unique that is. I also want to use this platform as an opportunity to share several different core teachings about Zen that I hope that people watching my videos would come to understand, would come to appreciate, and on their own journey coming to Japan would be able to engage with. Zen does not treat enlightenment as something to be achieved or possessed. Instead, enlightenment is something to be engaged with in every moment. It's not a singular event or permanent state of bliss, but an ongoing practice of awareness. Zen teaches that there is no ultimate separation between the enlightened and the unenlightened. It is a matter of seeing clearly and acting with presence, whether one is drinking tea, sweeping the floor, or arranging stones in a garden. One of them is that Zen is not an escape, it's a way to engage with life. The next is understanding how space is just as important as objects. And also a teaching about how a room should breathe like a garden, as a metaphor for how we should have room and space in ourselves and in our lives to be able to breathe, to be able to live in balance and in harmony. And the last one, an understanding that stillness and motion are one. Just like a Japanese Zen garden is a still capture of water movement, of the movement of the wind, that's how we should be able to engage within our lives. So I'm making my videos as an opportunity for people to see Japan, to see areas that maybe they wouldn't have time to visit here when they visit, or maybe they're not able to visit Japan at all. Because I feel that it's really valuable to see this kind of harmony, to see how nature works with their modern day society, and to bring that out to a lot of people. Zen is a very creative way to live, and it's opened up so much for my life, and I believe that that's also the offer that it has for a lot of other people's lives. Beyond that, I also want to offer recommendations for exploring different areas, whether that's a cozy cafe, a nice restaurant, or a bar, some nice places to check out while you're visiting Tokyo or other cities that I would recommend as a local. So I'm providing bookmarks on Google Maps where people can download those and they can implement that into their plan whenever they visit here. If you're planning a trip to Tokyo, you can download my bookmarks on Google Maps. This is the best way to know where to find these shrines or discover some cafes, restaurants, and bars that I recommend. I'll be making more of these bookmarks as I explore more of Tokyo, so be sure to subscribe and like this video to get all the insights from a local.